What if I told you the most disrespected superstar in NBA history is also the greatest shooter of all time? What if I told you he's being silently held back, not by defenders, but by the very people meant to protect him? This isn't just about missed calls. This is about power, legacy, and billions of dollars. Because once you connect the dots, the truth will shock you. March 20th, 2025. I was home watching Steph Curry drive to the rim like he's done thousands of times. Then, bam, body checked mid-air like it's a hockey game. He crashes to the floor, no whistle. 2 weeks later, April 6th, Houston Rockets. Same story. Curry gets bumped, shoved, smacked for 32 straight minutes, and not a single trip to the line. Not one. At first, I thought maybe I was overreacting. Maybe it was just a rough stretch. But game after game, season after season, the pattern never stopped. This wasn't just bad luck. It was something else. So I did what any obsessed NBA junkie would do. I dove into the numbers, 10 years worth of data. And what I found? Straight up insane. Let's talk free throws made. One of the easiest ways to measure how often a player draws contact. Bradley Beal. Top 10 in free throws made 2 times. Trae Young, 6 times. Damian Lillard, 7 times. Now, Steph? The guy who leads the Warriors offense. The one who's chased off screens every night and touches the ball every single possession? 0. Not once in the top 10 in free throws made. Not even top 10 in attempts. Doesn't make sense. Unless, let's play a little game. Here's James Harden, step back 3, defender lunges in. Boom! Whistle, bucket, and 1. Now here's Curry, same move, same contact, but this time, offensive foul. This isn't some fringe conspiracy. You can see it night after night. Watch the film. Curry gets hammered on threes, hit on drives, bumped off the ball, and the refs just stare, like nothing happened. Meanwhile, other stars? Whistle symphony. Guys like Shea, Gilgeous, Alexander barely get touched, and they're living at the line. You breathe near him, it's 2 free throws. So I had to ask, why? Here's where things get messy. Steph Curry isn't just an NBA player, he's the face of Under Armour, a brand that's been trying to challenge Nike's throne for years. Now remember this, Nike isn't just a sponsor. They're the NBA's biggest apparel partner. In 2024, they signed a 12-year extension worth billions. That's not a partnership, that's an alliance. Nike's empire is built on players, Jordan, LeBron, KD. And when their top athlete wins, Nike wins. So imagine this, Steph Curry starts getting the same whistle as Harden or Embiid. He drops 39 points a night. He dominates the league in Under Armour shoes. What happens to Nike's grip on the next generation? What happens to LeBron's carefully crafted legacy? Nike's invested over $1 billion in LeBron James. He's their golden child. ESPN revolves around him. He starred in Space Jam 2. The GOAT conversation always loops back to him, even when it shouldn't. But Curry? Same number of rings. More likable, more efficient. If he starts putting up Jordan numbers while wearing Under Armour, Nike's billion-dollar narrative crumbles. And that right there is a problem the league can't afford. Now let's be fair, Joel Embiid gets a ton of free throws, and he's also with Under Armour. Harden, Adidas, Lillard, same. So why does Curry get iced out? Here's the difference. None of those guys threaten LeBron's legacy. No rings, no dynasties, no cultural takeover. Steph is different. He's already challenged the narrative. He's already pulled the spotlight away. Giving him the same whistle as SGA or Harden? That doesn't just tilt the numbers. It flips the entire NBA hierarchy. Let's break it down. I went back and pulled every game from 2021 to now where Curry took 10 or more free throws. The average? 12.04 attempts per game. Let's put that in context. LeBron's peak FT season, 10.3 attempts, 31 points per game. Kobe, 10.2 attempts, 35 PPG. MJ, 11.9 attempts, 37 PPG. Steph with 12.04 attempts, 39 points per game. Let that sink in. that would make him the highest scoring player in the modern era, not just a shooter, not just a leader, the most unstoppable player in basketball. At some point, I realized this story isn't really about basketball. It's about business, influence, control, because Steph's not just being overlooked, he's being nerfed, not by defenders, not by strategy, but by the whistle. And the reason? If he dominates the game and the market in Under Armour, the old guard loses everything. The legacy, the GOAT crown, the billion-dollar control. Steph Curry has been doubted his whole life. Too small, too skinny, not explosive enough, and yet he just kept showing up. He didn't complain, didn't flop, didn't chase calls. He just got so good, the league couldn't ignore him. And now, the only way to stop him is to tweak the rules, swallow the whistle, tilt the game. But here's the thing, even nerfed, even disrespected, even denied what he's owed, Steph is still right there, still dominating, still redefining greatness. And that's the lesson. Get so good they have to hold you back, then show the world that wasn't your peak. Steph Curry was never supposed to be that guy. He was too short, too skinny, too quiet. He didn't explode off the screen like a young LeBron, didn't tower like Shaq, didn't have the raw athleticism of Westbrook or the brute dominance of Giannis. He was just Steph, a kid with a baby face and a silky jumper. They overlooked him in high school, slept on him in college, laughed when he entered the league. But Steph didn't care about fitting their mold. He just broke it. He mastered a style no one had ever seen. He didn't overpower you, he outran you, outthought you, outworked you. He changed the geometry of the game, stretching defenses out to 35 feet. He built an entire dynasty with gravity and grace. And yet, even after all that, they're still trying to contain him. Not with schemes, not with defenders, but with silence, with swallowed whistles, with invisible boundaries. Because if Steph Curry were treated like any other superstar, if he got even close to the whistle that Harden or Luka or SGA gets, he wouldn't just be an all-time great. He'd be a myth. He'd put up scoring numbers we've never seen in the modern era. He'd embarrass defensive systems. He'd shift sneaker sales, rewrite narratives, and force the league to reevaluate its chosen kings. And that's exactly why they can't let it happen. Because when you peel back the layers of the league, beneath the highlight reels and jerseys and buzzer beaters, there's a business, a billion-dollar empire, one built on power, influence, and control. And Steph Curry? He's the glitch in the matrix, the proof that someone outside the machine can still win. But here's the truth. You can silence a whistle, you can skew a stat sheet, but you can't fake greatness. Smash that subscribe button and ring the bell.